The Wolf of Washington could be in big trouble. Investigators might finally get a peek inside Nancy and Paulie P's earnings sheets.
Nancy Pelosi should be investigated because she has the highest return of anybody practically in the history of Wall Street. It happened by she knows exactly what's going to happen, what's going to be announced. She buys stock, and then the stock goes up after the announcement's made.
Nancy heard the news and ran to CNN on a busted hip, but Tapper treated her like Biden on debate night.
When Nancy Pelosi became rich.
Why do you have to read that? We're here to talk about the 60th anniversary of Medicaid. That's what I agreed to come to talk about.
Yeah, but I wanted
what that means in the election.
I wanted to give you a chance just to respond. He accused you of insider trading. What's your response to that?
That's ridiculous. In fact, I very much support the stop the trading of members of Congress. Not that I think anybody's doing anything wrong. If they are prosecuted and they go to jail. But because of the confidence it instills in the American people, don't worry about this. But I have no concern about the obvious investments that had been made over time. I'm not into it. My husband is.
I'm not into it. My husband is. So Paulie P's in Napa, a Wall Street whiz kid, and his wife knows nada? If pillows could talk. Meanwhile, the Senate's suiting up too. They just advanced an anti-stock trading bill for Congress. But Trump's not pleased. He says, why would one Republican, Josh Hawley, side with Democrats to block a review of the bill? It's a great bill for Nancy and her, quote, husband, but bad for our country. Trump even gave Hawley a new nickname, second-tier senator.
Yeah, we got a damn good show for y'all. We got Ross Givens. He's an expert on insider trading, and he's come here today to fill us in on what's going on.
Guys, good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, my pleasure. So, interesting when Pelosi's asked about this, she failed to mention the name of this bill to prevent Congress, and it happens to be called the Pelosi Act, which stands for Preventing Elected Leaders from Owning Securities. So she is by far the patron saint of insider trading. She's been doing this for 17, 18 years, made about $300-400 million off these kind of trades. And you know, it's no longer a question of if they're doing this. And it's pretty much an open secret on Capitol Hill. You can't make $300 million without people going, all right, what are you doing? How are you beating every hedge fund on Wall Street?
Warren Buffett.
Well, yeah, but it's not just her. It's tons of members of Congress. And if you look at the returns these members are getting year in and year out, you know, I think we had something like a dozen of them made more than 100% returns last year.
Okay, so they're not holding the stock. They're selling it and buying it, selling it and buying it.
Well, yeah, they're getting in before news becomes public. So, for example, let's pretend you're a pharmaceutical company, right? You're running all these drug trials, you're hoping, and what do you know? You find the cure to cancer, the cure to baldness or something. When those drug trial results come out and the people realize, oh my God, they've got the cure to cancer, it's going to be worth $100 billion. The stock is going to surge.
Right.
So if you bought the stock knowing that before it came out publicly, you make a fortune. And so these politicians are in a position to know lots of market-moving information and take advantage of it. So maybe that's a bill Congress is going to pass, going to help a certain industry. Could be something they learn from their donors and their dirty circle.
Not only does it help you if you think the stock price is going to increase, but if you think the stock price is going to dump, you also sell.
Well, they did that. They did that in COVID. So if you remember, when COVID happened and it really got crazy, like I think it was February and March of 2020, stock market fell 30% a month, like the biggest dip we've seen in decades. And it turns out a bunch of senators sold all their stocks like 2 weeks before.
Right before they went public with COVID.
Yeah, well, but they got brought in and read in on what the situation is, how bad it is in China, their plans to shut down the economy, which we'd never seen. And so, they get out of the way before bad news happens. They jump in right at the opportune time before good news happens.
That's crazy because I remember Nancy Pelosi on TV go down to Chinatown and give people hugs. You mean to tell me when she was doing that broadcast, she was selling all her shit?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's blatant, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like, maybe she knew something. They love to try to connect the dots on Marjorie Taylor Greene or something. It's like, well, yeah, she bought 30 stocks that day. One of them went up 15%, like kind of coincidence.
Yeah, but she has a construction company, right?
Yeah, and she's also buying 15, 20 grand a piece. Let me give you an example of what Pelosi does. So, y'all remember the CHIPS Act that got passed in 2022? It gave $54 billion in tax
to NVIDIA.
credits. Yeah, to all the semiconductor companies. And I get it, right? Like, we don't want China owning all the semiconductors. We had a shortage. We want to bring all that here.
Right.
So $54 billion tax dollars.
Government's giving them $54 billion.
Yeah, to all the U.S. semiconductor companies, right? To NVIDIA and to Intel and all these. Pelosi went out and bought up NVIDIA stock 2 weeks before the bill passed. And she didn't just buy the stock, guys. She bought $1 million worth of call options on that stock.
That's even more risky.
Exactly. It's a leveraged, short-term, all-or-nothing bet that this stock's going to make a big move very quickly.
Right,
So, like, you don't roll the dice on $1 million.
Right. Yeah.
Unless, and listen, she's
unless you're a degenerate gambler, right?
or you know something.
Right,
you know,
right.
and she was crucial in getting this bill passed. She was the Speaker of the House at the time. She's doing a road tour with Biden, promoting the thing to get passed. Like, clearly it's going to get passed, right? But she's done this dozens and dozens of times.
How much did she make?
I think that one, she turned $1 million into $4 or $5 million.
It's not a bad trade.
No, not a bad little month for somebody who makes $200 grand a year.
Yeah, Warren Buffett, eat your heart out.
But it's, you know, it's. I mean, I've got some other. Let me see what else I can find. I mean, she's done this for decades. She bought $5 million worth of Microsoft 2 weeks before the Army gave a $20 billion cloud computing contract to the company. Right? She bought Tesla weeks before Biden signed an executive order making the entire federal fleet electric. So she's got a history of doing this, and the only silver lining to all of this is that you can see their trades. And that's what I don't think a lot of people know. They have to report this stuff publicly. They have to tell you what stocks they buy and how many shares, and it's public information. Most people just don't realize it. So
don't know how to find it. I
and
don't know
and the
nothing about
reason
that.
people call us about it, we've been doing this since like 2017. We've got like a couple thousand members. We find this stuff, send it out. Just when we see a lot of insiders buying, we've beat the stock market every single year.
That's hard to do.
Yeah, and I'm not
That's
that
impossible.
smart. I'm not well, unless you're a member of Congress. They're pretty. They all married fantastic stock pickers. It's crazy.
They got the genie in a bottle. They know everything. What about? I just saw in the news, Ilhan Omar's net worth has exploded in recent months. Like they said, somewhere between $5 and $30 million. When the prior year she was around 50,000 or something like that.
Yeah, and again, it's all public information. And so if you pull these up, I actually sent them over to you. They have to report their financial disclosures once a year. So like what you own, what are you worth, right? And when they trade stocks, they file these again. They're called financial disclosure reports. And so you can see from 2023, she's got $5 grand in this little ETF, 10 grand in that one. And there's two big things. One is a winery she and her husband own, at the time valued at like, what's she have on there? I don't remember, 50 grand, something like that.
Right.
And then a venture capital firm her husband was starting that they valued at like $1 to 1,000. It's like toward the bottom of the list. You fast forward 1 year, 12 months. If you go to the next one, the 2024, this winery is now suddenly worth, what was it? Between $1 and $5 million, and this venture capital firm that was worth $0 a year ago is now worth close to $25 million.
Wow.
I looked up the site. You can pull it up. It's called Rose Lake Capital. They manage $60 billion from freaking where?
That's weird.
Like, y'all are pretty good YouTubers, right?
Right.
If you gathered 60 billion followers in a year, I'd be like, that doesn't really add up, you know?
Well, it makes sense. It'd be very difficult for someone like us, but someone in the government who's got connections.
Well, they're connected. And it's all dirty. Like, this is venture capital money, which is basically like the private stock markets. They're buying companies up. Most of them aren't this smart, though. Most of them are just buying stocks. And again, you can track this stuff. So if your viewers want to learn, we're having a training event. It's coming up this Thursday. It's online. It's free. We do this every couple of months. So good timing I came here.
So,
but we show them how to do it all. So if they click the link, we'll show them how to do it.
okay, so you like So what do you do? Like you teach them? Well, you send out alerts. Buy this stock now. Nancy Pelosi bought this.
We do that, yeah, and these training events are free, and again, it's like people don't realize, and it's not just politicians. It's like when Pelosi and politicians buy, yes, they report that, but it's also these corporate insiders,
The company CEOs, the
exactly,
CFOs.
CEOs, CFOs board, right? And so we got one last year, little pharmaceutical stocks, like 40 cents a share. I mean, this little off the radar, risky ass thing you'd never buy if it's just you and me rolling the dice.
You could get it on Robinhood.
Yeah, you can get it on anything. Yeah, publicly traded stock. And they're in the middle of these stage 2 clinical drug trials, right? It's this make or break drug. They're development stage. They're a nothing company. And then in a single week, 11 people at this company bought the stock. The CEO bought, the CFO bought, the chief medical officer running the drug trials bought, half the board bought, the chief financial.
That's a huge bond signal.
So we see it, we're like, well, things are probably going okay over there.
Right.
So we recommend it to our members. Went up 340% in 4 months.
And you can teach us how we can learn these?
Yeah, so all we do is show people how to find this stuff because people don't realize that it's free public information. So we show you what to look for, some of the things we've learned, like signals that lead to the best moves. But I just think people are doing yourself, if you're trying to grow your wealth, if you're trying to invest, pick stocks, participate in the economy, these people have better information. Pelosi knows more than you. The CEO of this company knows whether it's a good time to buy long before you do.
Right.
And so why would you sit out here and read Reddit boards and
just
guess
reading
on earnings
financial
when it's like these 5 guys running the company just put 2 times their annual salary in. That's a pretty good tip. Right?
Yeah.
And so you follow in. And so we show people how to do that. What's the link to that? I think it's Hodge Twins Trading. Is that right? .com. There's a link below. But yeah, put your email, phone number in there. It's coming this Thursday. It's free. It's online. And we show people how to do all this. And the feedback's been just phenomenal.
Well, I'm definitely going to be there. Yeah, because usually when I invest in a stock, I just go off hearsay, where I hear people talking about, like in the video. Kevin bought in the video like a year ago. And it's like, you just go in the financial reports and you just follow the stock. But man, that really helps if you're like constantly investing money. You need to have these little tips.
Well, everybody's looking for some kind of an edge, and I think this is just such an obvious one, right? It's you're following, the politicians, the insiders, et cetera. And look, the numbers speak for themselves. I sent over a sheet. If you'll see that, it's got an image of the returns of the top members of Congress in 2024. If you can pull that up,
that's interesting.
And so this is pretty mind blowing because, again, either these members of Congress all married some of the best stock traders in the country, which is an incredible coincidence.
Right.
Either that, or there might be something to Trump's claims that there could be some insider trading.
Right.
So
that is nuts. And they'll never ban this. They'll always be able to trade stocks because they write the damn law.
That's it. Yes. I mean, why would you? So, if you pull that up. So this is, and look, it's Republicans, it's Democrats, it's young, it's old. I'm not singling anybody out. They're all scumbags.
I see a lot of red.
Plenty of red. But you can see the annual return. Now, I've marked what Warren Buffett did last year for reference.
Wow.
Okay. That's the Oracle of Omaha. That's the best who's ever done it.
Right.
Pelosi is about midway up at about 70 or so %. And then you've got these guys making 90, 100, 120, 140% returns.
Who is that? Who the red, is that Republicans and blue is Democrats?
That's right. Yep. So
a Republican. It's at the very top.
Yeah, so the top guy, let me see if I can see it here. Top performer last year was David Rouser at 149%. You got Debbie Schultz at 142, and she's doing. A recent one she did. She bought. To give you an idea, she bought a little stock called Viasat.
Viasat.
Yeah, it's $6 a share. Oh, do you know it tripled over the next 6 months? What a coincidence!
Wow, 300% return in 6 months. I would kill for 300% returns.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy right there. But it's going to different ones at the top each year, but it's all of them. I mean, they're all.
Yeah, this is not a Democrat issue. This is just a Congress issue.
It's just a Congress issue. It's that old, absolute power corrupts absolutely,
and that's why they'll never pass the law.
They'll never pass it. Why would you give away your honey hole?
Right.
If you've known a single congressman who went to D.C. and left poor. So they have to own 2 houses, but they come out richer. How does that make any sense?
Yeah. It's like the Democrats' race card. They'll never let that go.
They'll never let it go. No, they need it. And I think what it is, if you think back to like the 70s and 80s, I'm sure guys got paid off with suitcases full of cash. Right. Money laundering wasn't even a crime until the mid 80s because of the cocaine come up from Miami. It wasn't even a crime.
Know that.
Oh, you could deposit $2 million in a duffel bag and nothing would happen. Now you can't do it. Now there's a paper trail.
Even if you're black?
You can put in some cinder blocks somewhere.
Wow. I didn't know that.
But there's a paper trail is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But if you gave him a stock tip, if you went to the senator and said, look, if it were me, I would buy this stock around this time. There might be something coming out on Friday. And Pelosi loads up with massive leverage and $1 million, $2 million in stock options and makes $5 million. No paper trail. Prove it.
Right.
And even if they do prove it, they're not going to do anything. Like there was an investigation. I don't know if y'all saw this that came out. Representative Mike Kelly, the House Ethics Committee just released this scathing report, 5-year investigation on insider trading. And they got the guy dead to rights. I mean, text messages, emails. They interviewed the guy's damn broker. It's like, you did it. You did it. And it came to a conclusion. Look, you insider traded on this Cleveland Cliff stock. You took advantage. And the recommendation at the end was that he should divest from the stock. Should sell it. He's already quadrupled his money.
He was going to do that anyway.
I mean, yeah, of course you're going to sell it. It's making a profit. So it's like even they get them, even when they catch them doing this stuff.
Right. Well, George Carlin said, he said, there's a big club and you ain't in it. Yeah.
That's it. And listen, I think if you fired every single member of Congress tomorrow and started at scratch with a random nationwide lottery for about 3.5 weeks, you'd have a nice, clean Congress, and it would just get corrupted all over again.
Yeah, money corrupts.
And so it's not going to stop. Is it ethical? Is it good? No. But as I was telling Derek earlier, like when you make $50,000 right alongside Pelosi, you're going to laugh at the headline instead of getting angry, right? It's amazing how much less this bothers you if you're making tens of thousands of dollars following their trades.
Right.
And so that's, we hold these events and I hope people come to it. I mean, the feedback, like I said, it's been incredible, but it's all public. Like there's a website you can see every House representative trade, every senator's trade. When the corporate executives, they have 48 hours to file this stuff. So it's not like you're finding out, oh, he bought it in April. I wish I'd have known. Like, no, it's Wednesday. He bought it Tuesday. You see how many shares he bought. You can see, oh, okay, not just one guy at the company bought, but 5, 8, 10 of them. They're doing this for the first time in 4 or 5 years. The last time they bought the stock doubled, right? You're just looking for these really obvious examples.
Some information, they got some information.
You just get the edge. Yeah. And it tends to be, and listen, it's investing, right? Nothing's 100%. There's always risk involved. I don't want to say there's no losses with doing this, but it tends to be kind of a heads you win, tails you don't lose, right? Because let's say, the Hodge twins YouTube channel was a publicly traded stock, right? You've got to report earnings once a quarter. You got sales. When you got a big,
Right.
If I saw that you guys were suddenly putting $5 million a piece into the stock, you hadn't bought it in 5 years, it's like, you're not going to do that before you announce some bad news.
Right.
So it tends to be like, maybe it was a coincidence or they were getting in front of something and then, the news comes out and you make money. So
and it can help you both ways. When you see the CEO selling the stuff, hey, man, it's time to get rid of this stock.
Exactly. Right. So, I think it's interesting because people spend so much time and so much work in the stock market, and I've done it too. Right, but that's 25 years of my life.
Right,
and
charts
and then you're like, wait, I just buy when these guys buy, I just sell when they sell, and I beat and it's humbling because I'm like, we've beat the market for our members every year since 2017. Our stock returns, just putting 20% per, it's over 1,900% since we started in 2017.
1,900. That's now, 19x.
Yeah, and not every trade's one, but it's just consistently outperforming, right? And it's like, man, oh, Ross, I can see, I didn't do anything.
Right.
I didn't have any unique insights.
Right.
All we're doing is tracking the people that are smarter. And it's like, how long are you going to see Pelosi and these CEOs and members of Congress do this until you go, all right, well, they're not going to stop, like you said.
Yeah.
At least I can make a little scratch.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Piggybacking along.
You're tracking the people with the information. Right. It's not really that they're smarter. They got all the information. They got the crystal ball.
That's it.
Even a dummy can make money. That includes us. Where can they find your site?
So, I think we put a link in there. The link is just HodgeTwinsTrading.com. Put in your email, name. If you put your phone number in, we're even going to send them like a text reminder before we get started.
Right.
And just so they can see, if you can't attend live, again, it's this Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. But if you can't attend live, we're sending out to everyone who registers the full research on the most recent pick. For free. So even if you can't attend live, I encourage people to click that link, put your name in. And I think when people see what's available to them, when you see what's this little $5 stock and they're all buying it, you see the depth of the research, you're you'll see the advantage you have. So I encourage people, if you can't come, but yeah, Thursday at 3, name, email, we'll send you all the information, and I promise it'll be eye-opening.
I'm sure it will be.
Yeah.
That's a game changer. Hey, thank you, Ross.
Hey,
for
my
coming
pleasure.
by. Thank you, Ross.
Great to
Been a
meet you,
pleasure
Ross.
meeting you, brother.
You as well.
Man, that was a damn good show. Yeah.